2022 promises to be a monstrous year as Monster Jam kicks off its highly anticipated 30th season. 5 epic tours, 48 of the world's best drivers competing for the ultimate glory. A chance to compete at Monster Jam World Finals and one of 4 coveted championship titles. Over the next hour, we'll break down each tour, the drivers competing, and we'll unveil which drivers will be in new rides for the 2022 season. Get ready as Monster Jam celebrates an epic milestone, 30 years of thrashing, the 40th anniversary of the most iconic truck team in the sport. And the votes are in. We'll unveil the winners of the 2021 Monster Jam Awards.
Nice air. And he saves it. There is your wow factor. Big air out of the box. Awesome move, look at that.
There would not have been award winners in 2021 had Monster Jam not returned to the stadiums and arenas around the United States. The global pandemic slammed on the brakes, putting a full season in doubt for the first time in nearly 3 decades. Instead of 3, 5, or even 7 individual touring competitions, there would be only one. It was one tour featuring the world's most decorated veterans and exciting newcomers who amazed fans week in and week out until one deserving series champion could be crowned.
You know, looking back, man, 18 months ago was just a nightmare for all of us Monster Jam family, and it was tough, and we all didn't know what was going to happen with Monster Jam.
It was really scary because here we are in live entertainment, we're in motorsports, and when all of that is taken away, you go back in your mind, you think, wow, I wonder if I have to go back and restart. Thankfully, we were able to keep shows going and events going.
This is Monster Jam.
It was an honor to be one of the first drivers to get a call back saying, hey, we want you to be a part of this tour, coming back to bring Monster Jam back to the fans.
I got to come in after such a long period of time. It felt really good and was a big confidence boost for me to be in that lineup of drivers.
One tour, doing very few shows throughout the United States at limited capacity. I mean, it was so different from everything we've ever done.
But you know what? We still tried each and every weekend to do it as big as we could. And those fans were just as loud as a full stadium was.
Big sky wheelie for Lindsay Reed.
I felt like last year's competition was unique because we had so many stars together.
There was no tour in the history of Monster Jam as stiff of a competition than this year. It was unbelievable.
You know, having the best of the best out there from every tour, I felt like it made me a better driver because I could play off their strengths, see the amazing things they could do.
And you had drivers in different trucks that we didn't know what to expect. Ryan comes into Bakugan and he just ran over everybody.
Sidewall cyclone for Ryan Anderson. Holy cow!
I wasn't behind the seat of my Gravedigger number 35. Honestly, it was frustrating at first, but then it kind of turned into an adventure.
And Adam Anderson got it in Megalodon. Wow.
This was a World Finals week in and week out, and sometimes 4 shows in one weekend. Adam Anderson, Ryan, myself, Tom Mentz, we were in a 4-way battle up there, just at each other's throat.
Oh, the Duke leap right there. Huge air.
The ending of this roller coaster was one of the most bad ones I've ever had in my life. One of the very last weekends, I was actually able to overtake my big brother for the points championship. It was awesome for us to be able to get out of our comfort zone and still whip everybody's butt.
To see Ryan go home with that giant trophy was so aggravating. To finish second, it still stings, I'm not gonna lie.
Looking back at the 2021 season for Monster Jam as a whole was crazy because we had awesome racing, awesome freestyles, skills competitions, and we entertained thousands of fans.
You saw young guns like Kristen Anderson come into their own.
I'm very nervous for her. She's got it!
Had the opportunity this year to call a show with Scott Douglas, Jeremy McGrath, Gary Porter, Dennis Anderson, seeing those guys, being able to see them inducted to the Hall of Fame this year was just absolutely awesome.
just the fact we made it through this crazy year and we're able to do these Monster Jam events, I think is a tribute to everybody that puts their blood, sweat, and tears into it, and of course the fans that keep coming back.
Because we were able to persevere and we were able to carry through, it makes it more memorable for people. And it makes them that much more excited about the upcoming season to see 5 Tours in action after witnessing just that moment.
The 30th anniversary season of Monster Jam sees the return of 48 elite drivers competing across the United States in 2 stadium and 3 arena championship series. Every point counts as drivers go head-to-head in high-speed racing, 2-wheel skills, and an electrifying freestyle competition to earn points to claim their series championship and a win that grants only 5 drivers an automatic bid to the highly anticipated return of Monster Jam World Finals in Orlando. Over the past 3 decades, Monster Jam has grown to become a household name around the world. Stay with us as we recollect some of the sport's incredible stories. Join us in celebrating an epic milestone with the sport's greatest legend. And don't miss your chance to be part of the biggest event in Monster Jam. This portion of Monster Jam is brought to you by BKT Tires, growing together. Over the past 30 years, Monster Jam has evolved from a local favorite pastime for car and truck enthusiasts to the high-flying, big-action, stadium-filling events that keeps crowds on their feet at over 130 events on nearly every corner of the earth. As the original creators and navigators of these hand-built machines have passed the tools and skills off to the next generation, the love of the sport has also been passed on to a growing family of global fans who continue to make it one of the most-watched competitions in all of sport. If 30 years has taught the world of Monster Jam anything, it's that it's just getting started.
Monster Jam and monster trucks started in the countryside, fairgrounds, speedways, exhibition grounds.
Back when I was 5 years old, I went to my very first Monster Jam event, and then as soon as I got out of high school, I knew that that's what I wanted to do.
When I attended my first show when I was 2 years old, just hearing 70,000 fans go absolutely nuts was my fondest memory.
My first experience, I was 6 years old, and it was just amazing. I knew at that moment that I wanted to get behind the wheel of one.
I'm only 24 and we're celebrating 30 years of Monster Jam. So Monster Jam has been a part of my life, my entire life.
And it's done nothing but gain steam every day, every year. As a kid when I was growing up, my dad's biggest competitor was Tom Mintz. Max D versus Gravedigger, that's all you ever heard.
It's been really awesome to see all of their success happen right in front of my eyes.
It's absolutely great to have Gravedigger 40th and Monster Jam 30th anniversary on the same year.
Oh, he got it back up, but Bryce has got him! Bryce has got him!
That's crazy to go out there and do the carnage and the craziness that we have been doing in Monster Jam for 30 years. What a testament.
Jim Kohler going overboard and a save! Oh, man! And he's got it!
One of the reasons Monster Jam has been so successful over the years, we have drivers that have different influences that bring from other motorsports.
Ever since I was a little kid riding my mountain bike with my brother, we were always pushing each other past all the limits of all the other kids in the neighborhood. I love bringing that competition here to Monster Jam.
You know, some of these moves that we're doing nowadays, 20, 25 years ago, were things that nobody thought would be possible.
Awesome.
But now, there's so many different things that you can do with these trucks to prove how agile they are.
You know, we compete on a completely global level. We're all across platforms on TV. We're all over social media. We're in the Guinness Book.
We can't thank enough the people that are behind the scenes that are making sure that these Monster Jam shows actually happen. But I'm also so proud that the fans stayed engaged with us, whether it was buying merchandise, whether it was coming out to the events.
It's great to see the parents with the kids, but also the grandparents come out, aunts and uncles, so it's a whole family affair.
I think fans keep coming back decade after decade because they love Monster Jam. They know we're gonna go big. They know we're gonna do the craziest stuff, so they always wanna see what we're gonna do next.
Monster Jam showed that it's got the staying power to live in our hearts and our homes and to fill us with that joy that we're looking for in our time of need. And I think that's what makes this 30th year even more special.
I hope that for the next 30 years of Monster Jam, we just keep doing what we've been doing and just being the biggest, the baddest, and the best.
Oh, I'm pumped up. I can't wait to get the 40th anniversary for Gravedigger started and the 30th anniversary for Monster Jam. So I think it's going to be special for everybody involved.
We've been on top of the world for 30 years. Look forward to celebrating the entire year, and here's to 30 more.
Let's take a look at this year's upcoming Monster Jam action with the first of the 5 tours, Stadium Series Yellow. This lineup of drivers announced ensures one thing: the level of competition remains high. With the 30th anniversary of Monster Jam set to kick off, there's little doubt that these competitions are the hottest ticket in the country. And the head-to-head matchups between veteran champions and the new up-and-comers is setting the stage for the return for Monster Jam World Finals 21. Ryan Anderson, the 2021 Stadium Series champion, looks to continue his domination on the dirt as he begins the new year piloting his own ride, Son of a Digger. In 2021, the Monster Jam All-Star had to overcome the discomfort of driving a new ride, Bakugan Dragon.
Holy cow, it's huge!
The season started out crazy. I mean, obviously I get a call to drive a different truck than my own, and it wasn't just a different body. This was an entirely different chassis, different axles, different everything.
Anderson not only accepted the challenge, but battled back in the last 2 weeks of the championship season to defeat his brother, Adam Anderson, and take claim to the championship trophy, proving again how the Anderson bloodline takes on all challengers in any vehicle as they wow crowds from city to city with his relentless attack on the track. One driver who not only has the skill set, but an extra set of hands to take the automatic bid away from Anderson is Orlando's favorite son, world record holder and driver of Zombie, Bari Musawwir. Musawwir also had his time in the sun in 2021, as he took home an event championship in Atlanta back in April.
Oh man, it's gotta be my favorite moment. First time we ever did Atlanta Motor Speedway. It was a huge track. During that weekend, so many new things were happening, and we put Zombie in the winner's circle, and that was just really like a feather in the cap for that season.
Team Gravedigger is not looking to lay down or step aside, as the legendary monster truck team looks to driver phenom Tyler Meninga to dominate the Stadium Series as he has done in past years in arenas all over America. Meninga proved he's a force to be reckoned with in his return to the seat in 2021. But in this first Stadium Championship Series, everyone is on the edge of their seats to see if the amazing skill set he has perfected in the Arena Series will translate to a championship this season. But the rest of this 12-driver field isn't going to let him walk away with another trophy without putting up a fight. For these drivers, it's go big or go home on Stadium Championship Series Yellow, as they vie for one of the 24 coveted spots in the Florida sun that comes with a trip to this season's World Finals. After the break, we head down to Orlando, Florida, to visit the home of Series Yellow driver and leader of Zombie Nation, Bari Musawwir, and hear how his passion behind a different kind of wheel kicked off his Monster Jam career. Plus, the fans have spoken, and we have honored the sport's best of the best. See who took home the gold, and who the fans voted as their favorite with the 2021 Monster Jam Awards.
What's up, Monster Jam fans? Ryan Anderson, the driver Son of a Digger here.
This is Bryce Kinney.
Hey, this is Adam Anderson.
This is Tyler Duke.
I'm Cynthia Gauthier, and we're excited for 2022.
We've got some action coming your way that you will never forget.
We've got 5 tours, 5 Monster Jam tours coming back around the United States, and you better get ready.
We're going to be ripping around the tracks in a city near you.
I want to make sure that you get out of your seats and you don't want to sit back down.
This is going to be the best year of Monster Jam yet.
The road to the World Finals is paved with high-speed, big-flying action that takes these drivers to epic heights in these 12,000-pound beasts. But one driver invites us into his home and tells us how his path to Monster Jam glory started behind the wheel of something not so big.
Here comes Zombie's Bari Musawwir, the 2011 Monster Jam Rookie of the Year.
Monster Jam is my life. And my mom took me to my first Monster Jam. I was 6 years old. Instantly, it was one of those things that I gravitated to. And so I always remembered coming back to seeing the monster trucks year after year. And eventually I got into RC radio controlled trucks. So I get asked all the time, how did you make the jump from RC to the real Monster Jam truck?
Here goes Bari Musawwir.
Once we actually got into the RC trucks, I got noticed at a big RC race at the home of Gravedigger. A Monster Jam official just happened to be there, and he said, man, if you can drive an RC truck that good, you could probably drive the real deal. Literally a week later, I was in the seat of a Monster Jam truck back at Digger's Dungeon. It was really just something special. I'm still heavily involved in RC. For the past few years, I've been helping run and organize the RC Monster Jam World Finals competition, which is at the pit party, which is a lot of fun for all the fans. It's really simple, you know, translating that hand-eye coordination from using your hands to your feet, and it all has to gel together. And, you know, with practice, you become a pretty good Monster Jam athlete. Being able to live that childhood dream, it really just means the world to me, and I love every minute of it. People might think, you know, I eat, sleep, and drink Monster Jam 24/7, but that's not the case all the time. You know, I have a home life. I love spending time with my family. We've got a nice, brand new RC racetrack in the back. Now, Cairo's getting really good, and someday he's gonna be better than me. I think my future in Monster Jam is bright. We've been at it for 10 years. If I could just get that elusive Monster Jam World Finals championship under my belt, that'd be icing on the cake for my career.
So Monster Jam is the unforgettable, unscripted, unexpected event on four wheels. It's the most action-packed event you can ever see in your entire life.
Monster Jam is one of the most incredible sports you can ever become a part of. The loud horsepower, the trucks coming down 50 feet from the air, it's incredible. It's something you can never experience without being there live.
The most unique thing about Monster Jam is definitely the pit party.
Pit party is normally where you can see all your favorite trucks, all your favorite drivers.
What other sport can you actually meet the drivers, get our autographs, and chill and watch us do our thing out there?
Come on up here, little man.
The accessibility of Monster Jam Superstars is unparalleled to any other sport in the world.
They get to come down on the track and see these larger-than-life trucks.
Being able to connect with the fans one-on-one is the best part of the job and one of the reasons that I do what I do every single weekend.
It's like sensory overload because there's so much going on in one space. There's a lot of kids that are just in awe of it all.
We actually have taken a picture with every driver ever since we've started. We might have 350 pictures of drivers. Whenever we look at those pictures, that's a fun time.
Oh yeah. My favorite part about it is them telling me, you know, I was this tall when I came here and saw your dad, and now I'm bringing him to come and see you. So we've got second generation fans meeting second generation drivers.
If you've never been to Monster Jam, or if you've never heard of it, you really gotta look into it. It's things you'd never expect. It's flips, jumps, crazy air, a lot of yelling.
One thing looking back, I took it for granted, man. Where we were going, the amount of fans we were in front of, until that gets taken away, you don't realize how important that is.
We can hear you in those trucks and be able to go back to full capacity and have stadiums filled with Monster Jam fans. Everybody is going to be at the top of their game. 2022 is going to be awesome.
Let's take a look at the first of 3 Monster Jam Arena Tours for 2022 with Arena Championship Series Central. Throughout Monster Jam's impressive history, we have witnessed epic moments. The historical stories that brought many of today's competitors to the seats of these mechanical marbles is in and of itself epic, which is why the lineup on Arena Championship Series Central makes it hard to find just one driver you want to see take the season's top prize. Turning the red headlights on the black and green wrecking machine is none other than Kristen Anderson. Coming off an impressive 2021 season, Kristen is looking to take on more than just the other drivers on this tour. She's looking to walk out of the arena with her own pass to another World Finals appearance.
for me to come back and get back into my element of being on the arena tour again and being in these arenas where I feel the most comfortable and I feel like my talents kind of show through the most. I'm very excited to have a lot of talent on my tour, and I feel like it's going to be a fight all the way to the very end.
As 2021 continued, a number of other Monster Jam drivers were able to climb back into the driver's seat to warm up for the 22 season, with familiar names like Soldier of Fortune navigator Tony Oaks taking the battlefield after the unforeseen hiatus. Elvis Lainez finds himself once again back with Team El Toro Loco after taking the Great Clips Mohawk Warrior through arenas with some big wins this past summer.
Being a champion to me would be the icing on the cake. I think for me, winning overalls, let alone getting to drive and represent Latinos and represent my family, is an absolute honor. But to get a championship in there, especially at the Monster Jam World Finals, I want that, and I want it bad.
But the sleeper in the series has to be second-generation phenom Zach Garner. The Indiana native took home his first ever stadium event championship in 2021, showing that he's up to the task of taking the Garner family name down his own road to the World Finals. As the rest of the field zips up their fire suits for the first time in almost 2 years, the pressure is on as they battle to come out on top and punch their ticket to Orlando. With never-before-seen matchups, first-time champions, and broken records, this season was a year for the books. After the break, see who came out on top as we unveil the 2021 Monster Jam Awards and find out which of your favorite drivers will be competing in the East and West Arena Championship Series. Monster Jam is brought to you by Lucas Oil. It works. The Monster Jam fleet has some of the most recognizable names, colors, and designs in the world, but it never stops them from unveiling new and improved looks to these behemoths. Drivers and fans alike will get to see an update on old favorites as Monster Jam unveils exclusive styles for 2022.
My name's James McShay. I paint some of the monster truck bodies. The one I do the most of would be the Gravedigger. I started that as a sign painter. From there, it took me into motorcycles, hot rods, and so forth. The opportunity came to me from Mike Wales. He's no longer with us now. Mike asked me to come down to North Carolina painting monster trucks, and when he said that, I knew. I was like, wow, man, that's where the Gravedigger's at. And to approach me about painting it, I was floored. From there, it took off. Gravedigger, it's the 40th year anniversary. Basically, they were looking for a paint scheme to represent that. What's different is they removed the house and the tombstone. That's where the 40th part is located. And then the word Gravedigger itself represents the truck back in the early 80s when they had the stack lettering. So basically, we get a raw body. It looks like a Gravedigger, but there's rough edges on it. Then we take it to the body guys. They clean it all up, and then I do my artwork on it. It's definitely a 40-hour job for the two sides. I would have to say maybe 500 trucks I've painted over the years. I'm still honored just to be painting this truck. Sometimes I still think how I got started and where I'm at. My passion brought me here, and my passion was just to keep painting. When I see the Gravedigger fly out of that tunnel, I can't explain the feeling. I'm beyond proud. I love my job, man.
Another exciting reveal for the upcoming season brings a brand new look to a familiar face as longtime Monster Jam partner Lucas Oil recruits World Finals champion Cynthia Gauthier to pilot their new ride for the upcoming Stadium Series season.
This brand new truck that we are gonna debut in 2022 is so exciting. I'm gonna be the first driver to ever drive it. Brand new chassis, brand new body, brand new name. The Monster Jam Lucas Oil Stabilizer. The semi-truck is really significant because the owner, Forrest Lucas, was a long-haul driver. 30 years ago, he started that company in the back of his truck. So this is amazing to bring it back the history of the company. As we speak right now, they're working on the design on the truck. I'm super excited. I'm sure you are super excited to see it, but you know it's gonna look pretty cool.
Now let's take a look at the Monster Jam Arena Championship Series East lineup. The Arena Series offers fans in-your-face, non-stop action competition. And the electric atmosphere will be met by Monster Jam's marquee drivers in the 2022 season. Arena Championship Series East Division has no shortage of veteran experience on the track. as this field of 8 are all looking to come out and make some noise on their quest for the guaranteed spot at Monster Jam World Finals 21. Returning to the wheel of Whiplash is none other than Brianna Mahan. Looking to take the arenas by storm, Mahana is taking her ride on a journey to another World Finals appearance. And the electric response she receives when she roars out of the tunnel proves she's a crowd favorite. Passion is what Armando Castro represents, as he takes that fire with him every time he climbs into a truck. This season, Castro will be looking to wreck the 8-pack tracks and barrel over anyone who gets in his way, as he looks to take El Toro Loco on the ride of a lifetime. As more of these elite drivers get back behind the wheels of these massive machines, it's hard to pinpoint if it will be the veteran faces or the new generation that will find the groove and pave their path to the World Finals 21. Now on to Arena Series West. With experience in stadiums and arenas, 2021 saw Tristan England navigate the waters as he took over Megalodon from Adam Anderson. He continued tearing up tracks across the country, chomping down on his competition and taking down event championships one by one. He looks to make some noise as he steps back into his old ride and puts everyone on notice that Earthshaker is one to watch. Team Throttle Monster's David Olfert is looking to bring carnage to the track in the crowd-favorite Jurassic Attack. With an extended history behind the toolbox, Olfert knows what it takes in the truck and under the hood to make sure he's in the best position to battle for that pass to World Finals 21. Surely not one to go down without a fight is Gravedigger driver Brandon Vincent as he navigates the black and green wrecking machine and looks to bury the field and capture that elusive series championship crown. There's a lot of pride on the line with this field of 8 as they push hard on the gas to make sure they represent their heritage and quiet all of the doubters to try and etch their names onto the record books as one of the best to ever get behind the wheel. After the break, we hear from the sport's top drivers talk about how the big green wrecking machine influenced them and the sport of monster trucks over the past 40 years. And see who you, the fans, voted for as the favorite driver for 2021. When Monster Jam returns. Monster Jam is brought to you by Spin Master. Real trucks, real action. Monster Jam.
What's up, Monster Jam fans? This is Elvis Linus.
Caleb Blood.
I'm Travis Mary.
I'm Kristen Anderson, and guess what? We are coming back.
I hope you guys are ready because I'm ready, and I'm coming in hot, baby.
I'm super excited for the 2022 season and to have you guys back in the stands and us behind the wheel of our Monster Jam truck.
With 5 big Monster Jam tours,
the 30th anniversary of Monster Jam,
48 drivers, and the return of the World Finals.
2022.
2022.
It's gonna be epic.
In the world of monster trucks, everyone unquestionably recognizes one vehicle, a black 1950 Chevrolet panel truck that bears green flames across the hood and red headlights that look like eyes. The sides have a graveyard, tombstones signifying the trucks that have been defeated, and a haunted house in the distance stands alone in front of a full moon. To the fans, it's known as the Black and Green Wrecking Machine. Once Bad to the Bone hits the speakers, everyone in the arena knows what's coming.
Please welcome the icon, Gravediggers, Dennis Anderson.
In the sporting world, there has never been a dynasty that's lasted as long as Gravedigger's reign over Monster Jam.
Gravedigger is probably the most recognizable brand because of the people behind it. You know you're going to see something spectacular.
When the red headlights come on and Gravedigger takes the track, you feel alive.
It is a moment that makes the hair stand up on my arms. It gives me goosebumps, and you hear the roar of this crowd.
There's a chill in the air, and people get electric. Man, there's nothing like it.
Dennis Anderson changed the game. I mean, he really pioneered the evolution of what the sport is today.
I mean, he's arguably one of the best to ever sit in the seat of one of these Monster Jam trucks.
He's the guy that pushes me to be better. When you're matched up head-to-head with him, you gotta give it your all.
Dennis Anderson was one of those drivers that he was always on the ragged edge no matter what.
He would do stuff that we didn't even think was possible. He was taking trucks that were heavy. He was going out there and doing moves and crazy saves and all this stuff and pushing everything.
Seeing him drive that truck wreaking havoc was one of the highlights of my childhood.
Oh my, look at that start from Adam Anderson. Anderson and Gravedigger.
So I've been a huge fan of Dennis Anderson my whole life. To now see his kids driving, it's so surreal.
They've really meant a lot when you talk about the sport of Monster Jam.
You definitely see aspects of Dennis in all three of the kids. They're definitely carrying on the legacy.
Adam specifically, he not only stepped into his dad's shoes, but actually grew Gravedigger to what we see today.
He has the Anderson driving style down to a T, from the throttle room, the technicalities.
Look at the turn for Adam Anderson.
It doesn't matter if he's only got 3 wheels working on the truck, that if he's got a broken axle on one corner, he's gonna do the most amazing pirouette off a jump that you've ever seen before and create something new.
Ryan's driving style is doing so much for the future of our sport. Nothing he can't dream up that he can't do. He goes big, and he is driving the sport into the future.
Kristen Anderson with her first stadium freestyle win.
Kristen Anderson is under a lot of pressure being the first female driver of Gravedigger.
People love her for who she is, for how she is, and what she does in the truck, but also what she does off the track.
It's phenomenal to me. It's in her blood.
She has given hope for girls of all ages to look at this and say this female athlete is driving the most famous truck in Monster Jam history, and I can do that too. And she is a superstar.
There's so many talented drivers behind the wheel of Gravedigger now that I think it's truly something that Dennis never thought would happen.
There is an expectation that you have to bring it, that there are no days off when you're representing that brand.
Now let's take a look at Stadium Championship Series Red. In all 5 tours, 48 drivers compete, but only half of them will make it to the 2022 Monster Jam World Finals. Stadium Championship Series Red positions itself to be a treacherous road to one of the 4 coveted World Finals championship trophies, spearheaded by none other than 5-time World Finals champion Adam Anderson. And after an unexpected and dominating season driving Megalodon, Anderson returns to the ride that brought fame to his family name, the legendary Gravedigger.
2022, big things in store. Myself being a 5-time world champion, I haven't got one in a couple of years. I want one. I'm gonna have to show them that I'm still here. They're gonna have to earn it. They're gonna have to take it from me.
There has been a thorn in the side of the Andersons for over 30 years, and one that continues to haunt them to this day. 12-time World Finals champion, Tom Metz.
Finished it off with some huge stuff just like that. Unbelievable.
Team Max D and I, we've been going at this a long time, and we love to be competitive, fighting every week. I just want to win another one always, that's always my goal. That's number 1 for me.
As the Red Series returns to the fan-filled stadiums, these drivers will push their 12,000-pound beast to the edge and leave it all on the dirt.
I think we're all ready for that breakout moment. But to take home a championship, you've got to make sure that every time that you step on that throttle, you're doing it with a purpose. We're ready for that battle, and we're ready for that breakthrough moment in 2022.
This field of 12 is loaded, not just with a number of other former World Finals champions, but with some of the loudest and proudest drivers to ever get behind the wheel of these beasts.
Going into 2022, it's going to be a rivalry that's probably never been seen before. It's going to be so much fun, and we'll see what happens.
As these veterans battle week in and week out, they can't take the rest of the field lightly, as a number of experienced challengers return to Monster Jam in 2022 to prove they have what it takes to etch their names in Monster Jam history by making it to and winning a World Finals championship. After the break, see how you and a friend can win a trip down to the happiest place on earth and enjoy the Florida sun with a fan experience of a lifetime to the 2022 Monster Jam World Finals. Stay tuned. Monster Jam is brought to you by Great Clips. It's going to be great. The competition on the track was tough for all, which made choosing the nominees for the best of the best honors an even harder task. But after all the votes were tallied, some of the unknowns walked away with their first taste of trophy gold. And some of the sports legends became painfully aware that 2022 is not going to be a walk in the park. Join us in congratulating the winners of the 2021 Monster Jam Awards. '21 Arena 2-wheel winner is Tyler Menninga, Gravedigger. this year's Crash Madness Award winner is Ryan Anderson versus Todd LeDuc.
Almost clipping the tire, and Todd is going to end up on 2 wheels.
Oh, he's over, he's over.
And another save over here. Wow.
The 2021 Donut of the Year goes to Bari Musawwir, Zombie. Technicians of the Year for 2021 are Andrew Lessing, Overboard and Black Pearl, and Ryan Riddle, Bakugan and Son of a Digger. The Extreme Air Award winner is Tom Mentz, Max D.
Whoa! This is the biggest jump
I knew it was doable.
We've seen, and the nose wheelie.
The 2021 Rising Star Award goes to Brandon Vincent, Gravedigger, and Armando Castro, El Toro Loco. This year's Rookie of the Year award goes to Zach Garner, Wildside, and Brittany Marcotte, Zombie. The 2021 Save of the Year goes to Kristen Anderson, Gravedigger. The 2021 Stadium Two-Wheel Award winner is Tristan England, Megalodon. This year's Stadium Freestyle Award goes to Jim Kohler of Adventure.
Kohler going overboard, and a save. Oh, man. And he's got it. Unbelievable.
The winner for this year's Arena Freestyle is Brandon Vincent, Gravedigger. Wow Factor of the Year goes to Ryan Anderson, Bakugan Dragonoid. And the 2020 Outreach Award winner is Bryce Kenny, Great Clips Mohawk Warrior.
I'm always looking for the stories and for the people that are fighting some sort of good fight in their life. They're the ones that won't give up. They refuse to give up. And then they end up, the struggle turns into that triumph. And to be a champion, you've got to make sure that you bring a championship mentality, which is that fighting mentality, which in my opinion is what a real warrior is all about.
Even though thousands of fans left their homes and crowded stadiums and arenas across the country, and the high-flying, big-action competition renewed spirits, there still was a chapter left untold that left a void in the hearts and minds of millions of Monster Jam diehards. But after 2 quiet years, the lights are green, and the road is open for the return of one of the biggest events in all of motorsports.
Monster Jam World Finals is the largest Monster Jam event in the world.
Huge air.
The big daddy of them all.
Oh, what a save.
The things that you don't think are physically possible to happen in a Monster Jam truck happen there.
Incredible air.
It is where legends are made and heroes are born.
And here we come, the final turn. It's going to be close. Wow.
After a 2-year hiatus, Monster Jam World Finals 21 is very anticipated. Our fans have been waiting for this moment, and it's going to be great.
With drivers competing for not 1, 2, or 3, but 4 world championships, the competition will prove there are no friends on the track.
The competition is next level. Everybody is bringing their A game.
You know, we could be friends once we take those helmets off, but once those helmets come on, it's game on, baby.
No matter who it is, sibling, friend, it doesn't matter, especially at the World Finals. If you're beside me, you're going down.
It's the most pressure, but I thrive on it. It's almost like fuel for me.
Oh, LeDuc leap right there.
I just want to win another one always, you know. That's always my goal, you know, to beat the best of the best, to come out on top.
Myself being a 5-time world champion, I haven't got one in a couple of years. I want one.
The 2022 Monster Jam World Finals is once again going to reinvent the racing competition. As for the first time ever, this year's trucks will showcase a figure-8 over-under track required to win the Racing World Championship.
So this year at Monster Jam World Finals, we are adding the element of professional judges for the first time. Fans have been clamoring for it on social media. I know drivers have been clamoring for it as well.
Each driver has got to find a specialized skill or trick to set them apart from that field of amazing drivers.
The combination of fan judging and professional judges is going to make this World Finals something special.
Monster Jam World Finals is such an incredible draw for our fans.
You're going to see things that aren't anywhere else in your part of the United States or even the world.
There's so many activities going on at the same time.
We have a lot of events to keep our fans engaged, and we have a Hall of Fame induction ceremony, we have an award ceremony.
My biggest thanks goes to the Monster Jam fans. Other sports have fans. They don't have Monster Jam fans.
The opportunity to see all the trucks in the parade, it's absolutely the best time. You know, you get to do things that you would never do except for one time a year, and that's at Monster Jam World Finals.
Monster Jam World Finals has gone above and beyond to find never-before-seen ways to wow the fans, and this season will be no different, as we bring 2 fantastic encores to the weekend's event. For the Saturday encore, come and experience a never-seen-before moment as Monster Jam makes a toy stunt come to life. And on Sunday, be part of one of the largest celebrations ever for the 40th anniversary of the legendary Gravedigger.
The 30th anniversary for Monster Jam as a whole, there's got to be some wow factor that's just going to make the entire industry pay attention and say, wow.
There is your wow factor.
Monster Jam, you're constantly on the edge of your seat. Well, Monster Jam World Finals, you're not even going to be in your seat.
Holy cow!
It's just going to be unbelievable, and it's going to be wide open craziness.
That's what World Finals is about. We just want to go crazy. I can promise you, it's going to be one for the history books. This one's going to rewrite the history books.
Monster Jam World Finals, no te lo pierdas.
The biggest event of the year.
The biggest action.
The biggest emotion.
And here's the moment you've all been waiting for. Your chance to win an all-expense-paid trip to the 2022 Monster Jam World Finals. It's easy. All you have to do is log on to monsterjam.com. Click on the Monster Jam World Finals sweepstakes button and enter your name and email address. Only 1 entry per person, but tell your family and tell a friend, and we'll see you in Orlando. The dirt is on the move, the stadiums are gearing up, and these monsters are loading onto their semis as the road to the World Finals readies for another exciting season. Join Scott Jordan, Leslie Mears, and Colt Stevens as they will be your guides to another fun-filled, action-packed season. Stay tuned every week to see head-to-head action, find out who makes it to the winner's circle, and see who dominates and who falters, as these 48 drivers spread out on 5 tours across the country and battle their way towards that trophy win in Orlando. Log into monsterjam.com for information on tickets and events, and visit us on social for highlights and moments in the upcoming season. From our family to yours, live well, dream big, and drive safe. And we'll see you on the next Monster Jam.